Who's going to win the Royal Rumble? I'm just going to throw a whole bunch of scenarios at you. I'm really excited because there's a lot of possibilities. You know, the winner's not very predictable for this Royal Rumble. There's a whole bunch of guys I just want to talk about their chances of actually winning this thing. Um, the first guy I'll talk about is Edge. All right, if Edge does win the Royal Rumble, I could see him challenging Randy Orton at WrestleMania. I think it's very possible we could have a face Edge versus a heel Randy Orton. I would really like to see that. I think that would be very interesting. However, you know, they're kind of building towards a Jericho Edge match. If Jericho Edge is going to happen, I'm just going to say it's going to be a non-title match. So you could have Jericho and Edge kind of start feuding at the Rumble. They could eliminate each other and start brawling, and then that could be the first stage of them leading to a match at WrestleMania. You know, I don't think Edge and Jericho will happen for the championship at WrestleMania. I think it's highly unlikely, but I still think it is a possibility. I think it's kind of, you know, I don't see the point of giving Edge a championship match right away. I mean, let him get back into his rhythm. Let him earn it this time. I think they've given the belt to Edge too many times, but it'll be pretty awesome to see Edge win the Rumble. I think it will create a lot of buzz for the WWE, and I actually do see them going in that direction, but I don't know. I just don't think. I don't know. I just can't see Edge going into WrestleMania challenging for the belt or winning the championship. I just think it's too soon. But you know, it would be cool to see Edge versus Orton. So if that does happen. Okay, so the next guy I'll talk about is Chris Jericho. I don't think Chris Jericho has a chance at all to win the Royal Rumble. If he does win it, I think, you know, maybe he could challenge the Undertaker at WrestleMania. I think that's the only possibility they could pretty much do. You know, possibly you could have Jericho challenge Edge if Edge does win the belt at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. So Edge and Jericho could have their match for the title. That is a possibility, but I do not see that happening. That's very unlikely. All right, so the next guy I'll talk about is... all right, let's talk about John Cena first. I think John Cena is... it's very likely that he'll win this match. I think it'll be very predictable and very repetitive. But, you know, this is what he has going for him. You know, a title match against Sheamus at WrestleMania makes a lot of sense. It does. But, however, I would not like to see that happen. It's been done too many times. They've wrestled on Raw. I don't think anyone really cares anymore. So I definitely think you can rule it out. I don't think Vince McMahon would even like to see a Cena versus Sheamus match at WrestleMania. So Cena versus Randy Orton is possible. I mean, this gives them the chance to finally end their feud at WrestleMania. However, I think they've done pretty much all they could do. I think people are sick of watching them wrestle each other. So, I don't know. I don't see that happening either. Cena versus Undertaker. Cena wins the Rumble, challenges Undertaker at WrestleMania. Very likely. I could see them definitely doing this. However, Undertaker's got a lot on his plate right now, so I'm not... if Cena and Undertaker does happen at WrestleMania, which I actually hope that it does, I just wish that it's not for the title. I would just like it to be a non-title match. I don't think there's any reason for that to be a championship match. I don't know. Cena versus... the other thing is Cena versus Rey Mysterio. If Mysterio somehow does win this match, I think Cena and Mysterio will generate a lot of buzz because, you know, you have two top merchandise sellers. But like I said, I don't think Rey Mysterio. I just cannot see him going into WrestleMania as the champion. But I'll talk more about Rey later. All right, so next guy I'll talk about is... all right, I guess let's talk about Shawn Michaels next. I definitely don't see Shawn Michaels winning the Royal Rumble. He stated many times that he does not want to be the champion again. However, you know, the only way he could get to Undertaker in the storyline is to win the Royal Rumble. But I just don't see it happening. I think Shawn is gonna face Triple H at WrestleMania. If I had to pick one scenario, I think Triple H and Shawn Michaels is what they're gonna do. And I think that the whole Shawn Michaels Undertaker thing right now is just a big tease to set up the Shawn Michaels Triple H match at WrestleMania. So let's talk about Triple H. I think he has a big chance of winning the Royal Rumble because I could definitely see a Triple H versus Sheamus match. I think that's highly likely, but I would not like to see that. I think that I just don't think it will work. Triple H is not over as a face, and Sheamus, I don't think he's. You need a strong heel going into WrestleMania, and Sheamus is just not that guy. Either he'll lose the belt to Orton, or he'll lose it at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. It's pretty much a toss-up. But yeah, Triple H and Undertaker at WrestleMania is highly likely. I wouldn't rule it out. But, you know, I do see Triple H kind of playing like the monkey in the middle, the guy in between Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker. I think Triple H will get jealous of Shawn Michaels, or jealous that Shawn Michaels is giving Undertaker all his attention. And then you can have Triple H come out and say he's sick of Shawn Michaels stealing the show at WrestleMania. He's upstaged me for the past, I don't know how many WrestleManias. Ever since WrestleMania 19, Triple H could say that Shawn's stolen the spotlight from him. So he could say that, and then you could kind of have their feud going into WrestleMania. So I could definitely see that happening. All right, so the next guy I'll talk about is CM Punk. I think CM Punk has a very big chance of winning the Rumble, especially now. I don't think we would have thought he had a chance a couple weeks ago, but now it looks like he might have a chance. I think CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio seems very likely. The only thing that I have a problem with is Rey Mysterio. I think Rey Mysterio at this stage, if he somehow gets by Undertaker, you know, I just cannot buy him as the World Heavyweight Champion with all the injuries. He's gained a lot of weight over the last couple of years, and he's just a lot older now. I just cannot buy him as the champion going into WrestleMania. But I think Punk and Mysterio does make sense, though. I could actually see Punk challenging Undertaker. I don't think that's totally impossible. I think that's very likely. I think they have unfinished business. I think Undertaker actually deserves to give Punk his best effort, and Punk and Undertaker have never got a chance to finish what they've done. I don't know. I think there's a lot left. There's a big history there, and there's a lot more that they could do. I think I meant to say that Punk deserves for the Undertaker to at least give him a better match. You know, Punk and Undertaker have much better matches than what they've had in the past. So, but yeah, CM Punk challenging anyone from the Raw brand is highly unlikely. So that's one thing that Punk has against him. There's just no possibilities on the Raw brand right now for CM Punk to challenge at WrestleMania. Now, who's the other guy I talked about? All right, talked about Edge, Jericho, Cena, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. I mean, that's pretty much it. I think you could count Booker T out. There's no chance he has winning it. I think John Morrison is one of the guys I would have liked to win this thing. I think he has a lot of potential. But, you know, the problem with the Royal Rumble, problem with having, you know, younger guys, even a guy like Shelton Benjamin win the Rumble, you know, it'll really boost their career and everything. I mean, this is how you could actually make a star. But the Royal Rumble is a great way to do that. But the problem is they've invested so much money into WrestleMania, and there's so much money at stake for this pay-per-view that, you know, it's just a risky thing to do, to put someone that's, you know, you're not really sure if they can handle the main event spotlight. So it's a risky thing to do. So I can understand why, you know, the Royal Rumble winner is usually an established guy. Dave Bautista, I can actually see Bautista and Mysterio having a match at WrestleMania. I think that's very likely in a non-title match. So yeah, I think Bautista or Cena winning will be very repetitive. Edge winning the Rumble, I think it'll be exciting and fresh because, you know, I don't think anyone will really expect it. And the Ultimate Opportunist thing has kind of been done to death. So I don't know. It'll be exciting. It's kind of weird. Edge coming back to the Rumble will kind of be exciting, but at the same time, that could be repetitive also, because the Ultimate Opportunist thing is just, like I said, has been done to death. So, you know, I don't know what could happen. I don't know. I'm pretty excited because I really don't think there's a clear-cut winner or a clear-cut favorite. You know, if I had to pick one guy, I'm actually going to change my pick. You know, I would have said Edge, but, you know, the more I think about it, I think CM Punk is actually going to win this thing. I really think he will. I think Shawn Michaels you could rule out. I think Triple H is very highly likely, but if he does win it, I think we'll probably see a Triple H versus Sheamus match, which I would not like to see. I think that would totally suck. You know, the other thing is, I think maybe if Triple H does win it, they could possibly do a Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker triple threat match at WrestleMania. I think that could probably work. But the problem with that is, you know, you're going to have you know, you're going to have Undertaker feuding with Raw guys, and then you're going to have Randy Orton and Sheamus, you know, two guys. You know, where is the WWE title going to be? Is that going to remain on Raw, or will they move it over to SmackDown? I don't know. I think it'll put too much focus. Well, you know, I don't know. That's a possibility to have. And that's kind of like, it was kind of what they did last year. They had both titles basically being feuded over on Raw, basically. So maybe they could do that again. I think yeah, actually, the more I think about it, I think Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker at WrestleMania is kind of likely right now. So I don't know. It should be pretty interesting to see. All right.